Metalheads, how yous all doing tonight? Welcome to another episode of Let's Get Heavy. Tonight it is episode 20, final interview of 2023 as well, and we've got some special guests in Crossfire, a Dublin-based thrash metal band who are set to release Switch to Reset at midnight our time. Hang around until midnight because if you are watching live on Twitch with us, we'll be playing that full album in its entirety at midnight. So it'll be an album release party. So hang around if you are able until midnight. So I am going to stop chatting on, guys, because at the end of the day, you didn't want to see me. We'll want to see these handsome fuckers. So without further ado, please welcome the lovely lads. Oops, hold on. What's going on? There we go. For some reason it was muted. Please welcome the lovely lads from Dublin in Crossfire. Lads, you are live!
What's the story?
How's it going? Welcome. Look at them. Look at them handsome faces. Quick.
It wouldn't go that far now, but
champion. Excellent. So lads, as what I like to do with these interviews, I like to get a bit of backstory because there's a lot of people who may not know who Crossfire is. So can we introduce yourselves and how did the band come together?
Who wants to go first, lads?
Who's gone first?
Well, you were there at the start, Kev. You started off.
Yeah, I was there at the very, very beginning. Like you say that, Dan, but at the same time, Crossfire essentially started with me and you. You know what I mean? I started playing guitar around the same time Dan started playing drums, and me and Dan are related. We're cousins, and when he got his first electric drum kit, and I got my first electric guitar, we were jamming on Metallica stuff, and that's when I realised I wanted to be in a band because it was just so fucking cool. And so in secondary school, I met a guy called Adam Tracy, and he shared my love of thrash metal and heavy metal, and he was into the same bands as me, Metallica, Slayer, all that kind of stuff. And do you want to be in a band? Do you want to start a band together? And I think at the time Dan might have been on board, but later on he joined a different band. He was it the Bizarre, Dan, was it?
Yeah, well, it took you too long. You said it to me when I was 15, 16. I couldn't play thrash metal at this stage, and you didn't start a band, so I was busy doing the all ages gig circuit here in Dublin, playing in alt rock bands and having a much more relaxing time than the stuff I play now.
I can imagine.
Me and Adam Tracy, we had to find a new drummer, and a guy we went to school with as well, Dale Limpin. He was quite a talented drummer. He was more kind of into punk and even some pop punk type stuff, and he was very influenced by that. But that's where he got the kind of speed for playing the thrash metal from. And so then all we needed was a bass player, and I had found this fella on Facebook just by his profile picture. His profile picture, he had long curly hair. He was wearing a Megadeth t-shirt, and he was playing bass in his profile picture, and it was Connor Jordan. But it wasn't until a year or two later, we were messaging back and forth about starting the band, and he was interested. But it wasn't until a year or two later where we actually bumped into each other by accident at a house party of a mutual friend. And from there on, that's kind of when the band was properly formed. It was me, Connor, Dale, and Tracy. And that was kind of the origins of Crossfire. And Dale eventually left. He started playing guitar, and he's a very good singer as well. And he was kind of into playing folk guitar stuff. He started off playing Ed Sheeran and stuff like that. And so he kind of left to pursue that, and then we were obviously stuck for a drummer. And Dan said he'd fill in for us until we got something more permanent. Little did he know he's still here over 10 years later.
Not only was I only supposed to be filling in. The reason I said I was filling in is because it was the summer, and I said, all right, playing a bit of thrash metal, or trying to play a bit of thrash metal for the summer. That'll be fun. But no, I have to stop in September. I'm going into my final year of school, I don't know, probably A-levels year, the equivalent in the UK, leaving cert here. And somehow I stuck around. And here I am.
So that must be a canny switch for you then, Dan, considering you've went from like alt rock to hard rock to thrash. That must have been a canny change for you.
Yeah, especially from because I was a self-taught drummer at this stage. I was only playing for 2 years, maybe if even properly. And but I remember jamming to all Metallica and Tempting Slayer stuff like that back in the day. And it was the challenge of it. I want to do this. I want to be at least a competent metal drummer to get myself better. And playing the stuff will be fun. And it's still a challenge to this day. But yeah, that's probably what brought me in and stuck me around. And also, I didn't want to see because I'd heard they played a few gigs and somehow people are actually enjoying them. So I was like, no, I don't want to see their momentum stop.
Thanks, Dan.
Keep the train rolling.
Nice. So the inspiration behind the name Crossfire. What's the story?
Yeah, that was bad. So
you love this one.
I didn't realize there were so many Crossfires out there. I knew of the Crossfire from back in the 80s that did the album.
The Belgian ones.
Yeah, I knew of them. I didn't realise that there was so many others as well.
I think there's a Japanese one as well.
Yeah, there's fucking loads of them. There's heaps of them. If you type Crossfire into Spotify, there's fucking millions of them, and we're at the bottom. But Crossfire, I don't know. I got the idea of the name from Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and there was a map in that game called Crossfire, and I was like, ooh, that's a cool name.
Sounded cool.
Made that exact sound and everything.
Nice.
Call the band Kinder de Totten. Zombies, remember the zombies level?
Yeah.
Nice. So, what kind of motivated is to be a thrash band?
Mutual love of thrash.
Just mutual love of thrash. Yeah. Favorite bands?
Yeah.
What would you say is what's inspired you?
Favorite bands.
Yeah.
Yeah. So any bands that you would particularly say is like catalyst? That's kind of like, so say like Testament, for example. Would you say any particular band that's kind of wanting me to play thrash?
When I first picked up the guitar, that's all I wanted to play was thrash metal, and I suppose getting into that, there was obviously only one band that I knew that played that type of music, and it was Metallica, and that was just kind of solely because my dad grew up with that type of stuff in the 80s, and from a very young age, I was listening to the likes of Metallica and Slayer and Anthrax and Megadeth, and that's how I got into heavy metal, So yeah, Metallica definitely one of the main influences for Crossfire, I'd say.
Nice.
I think Heathen as well. Heathen is one that we all like.
Yeah, massive one.
Yeah.
Generally, the late 80s stuff that, as you can tell from the album, goes into the longer kind of almost edging towards progressive kind of type stuff. But a band that I think needs a shout out because me and Kev used to love them back in the day. They're a relatively small Norwegian thrash band called Tantara, and they released an album around about the time the Crossfire started called Based on Evil. And I think that's still, if we can reach that standard, I'd be fucking happy out because it's probably the closest modern day equivalent to that kind of late 80s Bay Area trash, almost going into progressive trash outside stuff.
Nice.
They got your man Fleming as the producer on that, didn't they? Ride the Lightning.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'll be honest with you, I've not really come across the band yet, so I'll definitely be giving them a check out after this.
They're cracking.
I
Yeah.
don't think they're going anymore. They released 2 albums. They released Based on Evil 2012ish. That was Savage. They released another one, Summit Forces, 4 or 5 years later, which was good, not great, but yeah, definitely worth checking out.
Never say never though. Never say never.
Touch wood.
Never say never. So many bands are coming back these days, so never say never. Could you share how? Nope. We've already said that one. What are some of your significant influences that have shaped Crossfire's musical style and approach?
Westlife.
Definitely those harmonies, man.
My mum will absolutely love you guys for that. She is a massive Westlife fan. She is watching live as well, so.
The we were doing another interview there a couple of days ago, and I never knew this, but apparently CJ met one of the lads in Westlife before.
Yeah.
Oh, is this true?
Yeah, I had no idea who he was. I was in a random nightclub in Sligo, and I was standing there having a smoke, chatting to some lad, and all of a sudden there was a fucking heap of girls started screaming and going nuts. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And it turns out your man was from Westlife. We just been standing there having a fag with him.
Were you in Crossfire at the time?
Yeah.
Did you do some plugging for Crossfire?
Absolutely not.
Oh, disgraceful! Wasted opportunity. Couldn't even ask them to jump on a song with us.
Yeah, you could have had a guest slot.
Ah, that would have been interesting.
Mark, if you're watching this, we're still up for it.
There we go.
I think his name was Mark.
Right.
That's definitely one of them, yeah.
We'll send this out to him later on.
Yeah.
Just tag every member of Westlife. Just be on the safe side. How has the Dublin thrash metal scene impacted the band's growth and evolution?
Dublin thrash.
It pushes us to go harder, anyways.
Yeah, there's some great bands playing with us now on the album launch on Saturday. So like some of our favourites would definitely be Psychosis, Snowblind, Acid Age from up in Belfast. In general, I think when we started out, there was a bit more trash going on for certain. There was almost like a little bit mini trash thing going on. You had old bands.
Definitely. I think that had been kind of kick-started by Gamma Bomb's success as well. There was a lot of them. A lot of them had started around the same time that we did, but one by one, just over the years, they just died off. And yeah, it's awful seeing that because some of them are really, really good.
They're all savage, but I think now there's loads of great metal coming out of Ireland for sure, and not just Dublin, Limerick and Cork especially. But there isn't that much trash going on at the moment. And again, we've lasted through the years. We've been a bit slower with output, obviously, than we would have cared to wish. But I don't think I think we are I'd like to think that when people think of trash now in Irish, they think of obviously Gamma Bomb, Psychosis, and then ourselves as well, kind of as flying the trash flag, I suppose.
Have you played alongside Gamma Bomb yet?
A few times.
Yeah. Nice.
There was a few months back they had their 20th anniversary up in Uri. Me and one of the lads from Psychosis went up and we ended up back in their studio in absolute fucking bits. Fucking falling all over the place. Oh Jesus, man. I was in tatters. Fucking woke up the next morning. I was the only one in the studio and hadn't a clue where I was.
Yeah, we interviewed them back in October, and they tried to do a Geordie accent, and it was the funniest fucking thing I have ever witnessed in my entire life. Me and my camera guy, Dak Imogen, we were just on the fucking floor, just in tears. Yeah, honestly, it was funny as fuck. But total lovely lads, bunch. Absolutely lovely lads.
The thing is, though, if you fuck up a Geordie accent or like a Southern Welsh accent, you end up sounding Jamaican.
Now that you mention it, yeah.
What is it? Is it a Geordie accent or what's the English accent? But I'm shit with the accents of which one is which. But they say it's like if you say beer can in a certain
bacon.
No, you say beer can, it sounds like bacon. Beer can.
That's Jamaican and
beer can.
That's Geordie, isn't it?
Is it?
I'm not
we don't got like that, do we? News to me. Anyway, new album coming out at midnight, lads. Switch to Resist. Reset. Sorry. Anyone who is watching live, hang around until midnight because that will be getting a full playthrough, and I cannot wait to hear it. That'll be brilliant.
Might be fucking twisted, like.
But can you tell us about the concept behind the album?
So I spoke a little bit about this on an interview the other night as well. So going in and getting the full album together, we wanted to have a few of the songs from the EP that we had done, Bound in Skin, because we felt that, well, especially me, I think I pushed it more than the rest of the guys, that there's a few songs on the EP that we like. Obviously, the EP doesn't sound that great production wise. You know,
It sounds like it was recorded through a fucking answering machine. It's terrible.
Yeah. So like we felt that those songs, we didn't give them the justice they deserved. They didn't best represent Crossfire, and when you see them live, that's definitely not what they fucking sound like. So I wanted to obviously re-record them with better production, and so that kind of filled nearly half the album. So then what you're listening to are four re-recorded songs, and then 4 brand new tracks as well that we've never recorded before.
8 songs in total.
That was the first kind of stepping stone, and then I suppose Switch to Reset. Like the song itself was about the MK Ultra, which was like a mind control. Well, Connor probably explained it better than me, but that kind of became the theme for the entire album. Was called like control, or maybe even lack of control. So that was kind of the general theme for the album.
So what's the influence? What's the influence for the songwriting process on this particular record?
Mostly Kev. Kev will tell you better, but that Kev has a literal vault full. He probably has 500 riffs on his phone at the moment, and our job is to kind of get the best out of him, and in terms of like so. Kev can talk about it, but like assemble all of that together into the songs you have now, but. Kev is one of the best riff writers you ever meet. So,
sometimes I'm able to come to the band with an entire song, like the body of a song, riffs and all, in my fucking head. I have the whole song pieced together, and sometimes I'm able to bring that to the band, and normally it works out exactly how I pictured it, and then sometimes it doesn't work out like that, and I bring bits and pieces to the band. And that's when we obviously formed the whole lot together as a band. And for this album in particular, like let's say the title track, Switch to Reset. I know you probably haven't heard the actual intro for the album yet.
No,
but there is a little bit of an intro before the song. The opening track kicks in, very much drawn from or influenced by Blackened by Metallica. It's like a dual guitar harmony thing that I wrote and reversed it. Okay, but the harmony itself, if you were to play it forward, it's the exact same notes as the main riff in the song, only reversed. And that I actually came up with that first before the main riff for Switch to Reset, and that's how the main riff of Switch to Reset came about, was through that lead guitar harmony thing that I came up with in the intro.
So did you explore any... Oh, sorry, go on. Sorry, I thought I cut you off there. Do you explore any new musical territories or experiment with different elements in this album?
Probably signatures, maybe. Longer riffs, and probably the timing of certain things, like little time increments. I mean,
yeah,
we wouldn't have had years ago. We just keep it simply 4/4 most of the time.
It's kind of, I think, we're chatting about is in, if you were to, because obviously we have some of the old songs that have been previously released in awful production, but we have some of those and then some of the newer Crossfire songs, and it makes the 8-track album. Now, if you were to list those songs chronologically in the order that they are written, you would very
clearly... Could be years between them.
Yeah, it gets more kind of... Again, I would never call ourselves... I don't think we're quite at the level where we could call ourselves progressive thrash yet. I want to get there at some stage. I really do. But you can definitely see... when the order they're written, things get a little bit longer, but also just kind of more thought out song structures.
A bit more technical. There's a bit more in them. Yeah, definitely.
So that's why album 2, we've already started a bit of, we have a good chunk of album 2 written now, but there's one song in particular I'm really excited about, and we get properly weird in the middle section. I'm a massive Dream Theater fan. I'm probably the only guy in the band that really likes prog metal, so I'm always pushing Kev to just think outside the box, throw in a few odd time signatures, keep people guessing, and this one goes really weird about that. But that's not Switch to Reset, but there's moments I think on Switch to Reset where we're teasing in that direction.
Nice. Where did you record the album, and who's the producer, or did you just produce it yourselves?
That's a bit of a fucking story and a half now, isn't it?
Do you want to take it or will I, CJ? Because it is a long story.
So, I think it was 2019. I think we were talking to Wormhole Death Records about doing an album with them. And then, was it Matt Lab recording? Jonathan, we were meant to fly over to him just outside of Florence for 3 weeks and do the album with him in, where was it, May 2019?
No, May 2020.
I think it was, yeah. So I think it was 2 or 3 weeks before we were meant to fly. They had gone into lockdown with COVID. So we postponed it for a few weeks. We said, oh, look, it'll be over in a few weeks, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously a few weeks went by. And then a few months went by. And they kept saying, oh, we'll put it off, give it another month or two. And it went on. And we decided that we were going to do it here because it was just, at that stage, we had no idea when this was going to end and when it was going to blow over. So we decided to do it here.
It was also a thing with work, because we all have full-time jobs. And yeah, it was hard enough trying to get the 3 weeks off work in May originally. And then it turned into, I think it was November, they wanted us to come over. And then it was like, oh, we'll wait till the following year. And it's just like, it didn't become feasible for us to be able to take 3 weeks off work. And so eventually we had to say to the guys, look, we're not going to be able to do this. We're going to have to record it here in Dublin. And we were kind of looking around for studios around Dublin that might fit our budget because obviously we were still paying the guys to mix it and master it. And, we then have to be kind of paying double nearly, paying to record it and paying it to mix and master it as well. And, it was just kind of unrealistic and unaffordable for us. So what we did was we got the drums recorded in Track Mix in Blanchardstown. And that was the actual only real studio that we used for recording the album. The rest of it, guitars, bass, vocals was either done in CJ's gaff or in our rehearsal studio. And we'd done that throughout. What year did we record this album? Was it this year?
I don't even know.
2022 finished and touches at the start of this year because again it went from 3 weeks non-stop supposed to be recording in Italy to us we're working it around our schedules, just doing it basically DIY ourselves here at home, which was great in one way, but again it also results in kind of why it's only late 2023 and it's coming out because not only are we recording it, we're essentially learning how to, I don't know if you call it produce, but self-produce ourselves when it comes to, we built an isolation box for the amps to have in CJ's garage. We had to learn how to use DAWs, mic placements, all sorts of stuff we're doing on the job. And we should shout out Jonathan Mazzeo again in Italy, who was supposed to record with us, ended up mixing and mastering, did a fantastic job on the mix. It sounded savage for something that was recorded in a garage, but also he was there for us whenever we had a question or an issue, etc. We'd get on a Skype call or we'd email and he'd come back the next day. So they're great like that, but it meant it was one like chuff that we were able to get it sounding so good ourselves. Basically doing the majority of it at home. That's why it's taken as long as it has.
Even doing that box though, that was such a learning curve because we didn't know whether that was going to work or not. And do you remember we spent months putting that together and then testing it out in different mic placements, and that went on for months.
I think even I was the first one to lay down guitar tracks, so I was trying to get like the right tone that I was happy with for the album.
Yeah,
and I think we spent a month just fucking around with guitar tones and different mic placements and all this kind of shit, and like it was tedious and it was fucking painful. Paid off.
It really did feel like the universe was against us at one stage without being too cheesy about it, because 2019 was probably our best year ever as a band. We had really started to kind of take things seriously. We'd gotten some great support slots with the likes of Exorder and another one with Gamma Bomb, Law Society, I think.
Nice.
In early 2020, we go to UK for the first time. The album's on the horizon. We think everything is like coming up Crossfire. And then, of course, the world goes to shit, and it just became then problem after problem after problem. So to be finally here now, hours before the actual album comes out, it's really surreal.
And it was really hard for me, anyway. It was really hard. Like once the shit hit the fan, and it was just, we built up so much momentum, and then it was just like, you were going 100 miles an hour and fucking drove straight into a fucking brick wall. That's how it felt, you know. It was just a sudden dead fucking stop, and then nothing for fucking months, and then trying to get back into it. It was heartbreaking. It was hard. Like there was like it was like a sort of depression there.
Yeah.
That I found. It was hard to get back into it. It's like when you don't go to the gym after months and you find it hard to get back into it. You know, that's how I felt. Anyway,
You think
I don't think any of us have ever felt like that.
I can contest to that because back in 2018 I lost a shitload of weight, and then come lockdown I just piled everything back on. I just couldn't get motivated after that. Tried numerous of things, but I just something mentally is blocking us. Don't know what it is.
Calorie deficit, Nate. Calorie deficit.
Yeah, mate, I've had this out with quite a few people. You are not wrong, because that's what I was doing in 2018, 2019, and then, like I said, just lockdown just completely fucked us up.
Yeah, all the beer and shit.
Well, that's it.
The mental side, you can't fucking, or it's extremely fucking hard to do anything when you're.
Because it was literally.
None of our heads are sorted.
It was literally in the house. Go to work, come back. Go to work, come back. Go to work. That's all I could do. You know what I mean? It'll be the same for yourselves, lads. Anybody else would have been in the same position. Just go to work, come home. You probably leave the house to get a few bits and pieces from the shops, come back. You know what I mean? You were literally just in the house. But
we used to actually do this during lockdown. You know, we'd have a Zoom call between the four of us, and we'd have a few beers over Zoom, and just to kind of try and keep some level of sanity.
Well, that's where this the whole streaming for me kind of birthed, was at the back end of the second lockdown. That's where this kind of birthed. You know what I mean? Where I wanted to start just not doing anything in the house. I wanted to do something with myself. It started off with gaming. Gaming, I've always wanted to do something music related. Gaming wasn't my niche, and then music. I found out you could play music on Twitch. And I just like that's where I'm going. I'm doing that. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
And here 2 years later, pretty much doing it like I say, we're doing this. So yeah, great man, absolutely. Oh, my phone's gone off. Where were we? How was? Because you see, you've been going for 10 years. Did you say? Is that correct? Roughly.
Yeah.
So did you do anything like recording like online? Like, so were you passing bits and pieces back and forth to each other? Were you still recording sort of thing during COVID?
During COVID, so yeah, I was saying a little bit about this the other night. Well, one of the good things that came of us not going to Italy was there's a song on the album called Prometheus, and it's an 11-minute instrumental. Okay, it's the last song on the album, and that was only written. That was our COVID song. That was only written during COVID. So if we had went to Italy in May of 2020, like we were originally meant to, that song wouldn't have been on the first album.
Yeah.
So that's one of the positive things you can take away from COVID, is that we wrote that, and maybe we mightn't have written that if COVID hadn't have happened entirely, you know? So I don't know. We'll never know.
It was hard, I remember, because again, it's probably the same over where you are, but like I remember back here at home, it seemed like our lockdown restrictions, and like even for the rest of the world, was taking the piss. It was like a fucking revolving door. Pubs were open one day, then they weren't, and you know, just like changing weeks at a time. And it was the same with our rehearsal studio. It was closed for a lot of it. But so you'd have a couple of weeks or a month or two where it's open and we could go in and jam stuff, and then they're closed again. So it was really hard to kind of get any kind of routine or kind of momentum with songwriting going. Like I think Kev, tell me if you agree, but when we're kind of writing a song, we're starting to write a song, it has to pass the first test of me and Kev will normally start jamming it together. And if we get to the start to the finish of the body of the song and we feel like, yeah, this is working, we'll bring the other lads in, we'll flesh out the structure, etc. We couldn't really do that when we couldn't get in the room for more than a couple of weeks at a time. And, you know, so like I know we had other songs that we were trying to work on and they just kind of went nowhere because of that. But Prometheus was always like kind of a white whale, because every time we did lockdown, it's kind of like it went from kind of a verse and a chorus, then there'd be another section, and then it build, and it led to it being the 11-minute mammoth that it is now.
Yeah, that's what I was doing during COVID. I was recording little bits of it at home, whether it was just on my phone or it was in GarageBand or something like that, and I was forwarding bits and pieces onto the lads as I was kind of writing it and coming up with new bits. And then, as Dan was saying, you know, you might get into the rehearsal studio before lockdown again, and we'd flesh out that bit, and then be back into lockdown, and then you'd go and work and write more parts for the song, and it ended up being 11 minutes. Now, like we didn't set out with the goal to write a song that was 11 minutes. You know, we just, you know, when it was finished, it was finished. That was it. You know.
We've kind of sidetracked a little bit. I do apologise, but went in the core there for a little bit. Back onto the album though. How would you describe the sound and style of Switch to a Reset in comparison to your previous EP, Bound in Skin?
Oh, fucking night and day. Night and day.
Well, you mentioned that you've self-produced this one. Is that not a big benefit, self-producing yourselves, because it'll save a lot of coin for yourselves, that's for sure, having to pay someone to do it?
Yeah. Absolutely, it fucking absolutely did. Yeah, because otherwise we'd have been paying for a second studio and a second sound engineer and everything, and that... I can't remember what that was. Was that looking at about $3,500, something like that, estimated?
Yeah,
It was
something mental like that.
And the state of the music scene at the minute.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. Look, Jesus, yeah.
You've all heard the stuff about Spotify and imagine bands getting paid, etc. So it was one of the key things that a band called Halberd that said it was one of their advice to any band who's wanting to start up: do everything yourself, because it will save you time and money at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, the technology's out there now, you know, at a reasonable price for our bands to be able to do that. You know, most musicians, I'd say nowadays, have their own little home built studio.
They do, yeah,
where they can record their ideas and stuff like that. You know, and it's great that we're able to do that now. Everything's digital. You know, you don't have to worry about, you know, you don't have to worry as much about going into a studio anymore.
Yeah, you can just record in your living rooms, can't you? That's how good it is. You can record off a phone, probably, these days.
When we recorded this album, we used actual amps. You know, obviously we had to mic them up and stuff like that, but like, you don't even have to do that now. You know, you can get a great sound and digital amp with whatever software you're using, and you know, it can be just as good.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for recording at home though was kind of almost, we had more, would you call it, quality control? As in, I know myself, like I didn't have this luxury, without making it a pity party on me. I didn't have this luxury. I was the first to lay down proper tracks. We had X amount of time in the studio to get the drums done. That was fine, knew what I was getting into. But it's great for the guitars and the bass and everything else that we had that time to have a bit of quality control, where we knew that we're not going to sign this off until it's fucking right, and 100% right. Not only is there less kind of pressure, you don't see like the fucking euros tick away as the clock goes by, but we also knew, like, you're in a studio and you know it's coming up to the end of the day, and you do it, you lay a track down, it's like, is that good enough? Is that a mistake? Or yada yada, can that be edited? And you almost, I'd be paranoid. I was like, is the guy in the chair just saying, oh yeah, that's grand, to get it signed off, and you know, not keep running over? It says, you know, I think that was the big benefit.
That was a huge thing, doing it in my gaff, where we were cutting that out, where you could ease back and you weren't, you know, under time pressure or anything else, and you know, you were comfortable with the people that you were playing with, you know, the people that were in the room with you. You could, you know, it was a lot. I felt there was a lot less pressure anyway when we were doing it.
Yeah,
especially playing solos. My God.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
If we had gone to Italy, you know, 3 weeks. Like 3 weeks isn't actually a lot of time to record an entire album. You know, you're talking about drums, double tracking each guitar, double tracking vocals, bass, and you know, you'd be like, we felt, you know, we'd be under serious pressure doing that. And when we were able to do it at home, it was kind of a little bit of a relief that we could take our time.
Yeah.
Everything was perfected and we didn't have to rush ourselves. You know, there was a lot less pressure.
Because if we'd done it in the 3 weeks, there would have been a lot of fucking pressure to get everything done on time and stick to that time schedule. Do you remember he gave us the time schedule, and it was down to the wire. And can you imagine if the 3 weeks had ended and we had to go home and we hadn't finished. It would have been a fucking disaster, you know.
Yeah.
I still think we could have done it. We could have done it if we had to. Like, let's not sell ourselves short. We're all good musicians. We could have. But again, it's just to have that extra time, luxury. I think as well, we are able to add on like little nuances to songs as well that we hadn't thought of. Even the acoustic outro on Prometheus, we didn't decide we were going to put that in until the last hour.
Yeah, how many little bits did we add into songs as we're sitting there recording? It was like, oh, do you know what? It'd be actually really cool if we did that here. And we obviously had as much time as we wanted. We could actually sit down and record it differently. And be like, oh yeah, that sounds a bit fucking cooler. We'll go with that.
Like I say though, having that additional time, it's let you be able to add, adjust, and it takes the pressure off, doesn't it? Because trying to record an album in 3 weeks. I mean, I can imagine. I can imagine it'd be pretty fucking stressful. I can only imagine how pretty stressful. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know you've said that you're bringing 4 songs from the EP to this album, but still writing 4 songs, getting it to how you want it to sound in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Doing it yourselves, it'd be a lot better. You can get it to sound how you wanted, add little elements that you wanted to, and it takes the pressure off.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I was worried about the danger of us going over to Italy for 3 weeks as well, and the sun's like, how likely is it that we're just going to end up in the back garden drinking Peroni? And it's like, is this going to be a working holiday? Like, are we just going to go straight into holiday mode once we see the sun? It's like, oh fuck, I've spent 8 hours in a fucking sweaty studio recording drums today, you know?
I was going to take my SLR over to take photos and shit.
Oh man,
have, like all the really cool architecture and all.
You haven't got time for sightseeing. You've got an album to write, dude.
Weekend, man. Weekend. We got the weekend.
There's no weekends, man. You've got to record.
I think it's Sundays off, maybe, and that was it.
Yeah.
No. I got time to do that.
All right, fair enough. Are there any specific tracks from Switch to Reset that you are particularly proud of that hold a special meaning to the band?
I don't know about you guys, but for me, my favourite will always be Book of the Dead. I fucking love that song. Just the fucking energy in that song. I love it. Every time we play that, you can see a room of people stand there, you know, the heads would be bobbing. You start playing that, and the whole fucking room just goes ballistic. It's fucking deadly.
That was like the 4th song we ever wrote, Connor. I don't think anything is quite.
Oh, it's fucking class. I love it.
What about Matt? Because Matt, you've been relatively quiet so far.
Yeah, I usually am.
Like that.
I would say that because Prometheus is where all of this. I've been in the band since 2014, so 9 years of progression. Like they obviously already had like what did you just have, like 2 or 3 songs when I came in? Probably, yeah. And then like just the natural progression to Prometheus. I love Prometheus because I get to play like acoustic stuff in it. So that's like my kind of pet peeve in that.
Dan,
I think for me, again, for all the reasons that have been mentioned, the track, they're probably most proud of as a band is probably Prometheus. Again, because we talked always, like even before the breaking COVID and all that shit, we talked about wanting to do it. We have to do an instrumental. If we're doing this kind of thrash, we need to do one at some stage. Maybe it's second album, maybe it's third album. So to have that on this is amazing. But apart from that, I fucking love Switch to Reset. I think there's a reason why it's the title track. It's the opener to our live shows, the lead single. I think that it's that kind of happy medium for us in between your kind of more straightforward thrash, and then it has like those little kind of touches of the more old school stuff as well. I think it's a banger. I love Switch to Reset.
Nice.
It's the breakdown. It's the breakdown part.
For me, it's that fucking lovely face melting solo. I love riffs and I love guitar solos. I just fucking love it. Can't get enough of guitar solos and riffs, man. I kind of play guitar to save my life, but I just love riffs and solos. Which some of you could tell when I featured Switch to Reset on our stream, and I had that fucking stupid face melting, and you just recorded it. Thanks, guys. But what about yourself, Kev? What would be your song that you're most proud of?
Most proud of either either Prometheus or Turnstone, probably. Turnstone has never been recorded before, and I always felt like it was always kind of like our catchiest song because it was kind of written in the style of like the new wave of British heavy metal, you know, very much inspired by the likes of Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and all those guys. So we kind of wrote it with that in the back of our minds and trying to make it more heavy metal, but then you have the thrash section in the middle, and so it has a little bit of a Crossfire twist on it. So and I love that track, and I love the recording. I love all the harmonies and the vocal harmonies in the chorus. So probably turned the stone for me.
What about the breakdown riff?
Breakdown riff that you wrote down. We were writing that song, we kind of came to the middle section. We hadn't written the middle section yet, and Dan obviously doesn't play guitar. Well, he does a little bit, but he wouldn't play guitar like me or Matt. You know, he just kind of hums this riff. You know, he's like, "Kev, can you go do diddle diddle do diddle diddle do do?" And then I done it on the guitar, and he was like, "That's it."
Not biased at all.
That's how we wrote the middle section for Turns to Stone.
So I should have touched on this before, but how do you record? Do you record as a full band, or do you just record bits and pieces at home and send it to you? Mix it together sort of thing, or do you record as a full band?
For the album?
Either. In the past or just going forward. How was your writing process for you?
I think there were just drinking sessions with a lot of recording in between.
Because some bands will, like I say, you mentioned before about the technology. So you could just record in your own personal spaces and just mix it all together, sort of thing. But some bands do like that old school feel of getting together in a room, jamming together, record the whole thing, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Like a live recording, nearly. No, that's something that we've never done before. Sure, we haven't done like a live recording.
We did once in the Point years ago, but I don't think we ever released.
That was rap, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was years back. I don't think we ever released that stuff.
The kind of stuff we play, you have to do track by track, I think.
Yeah.
Or at least works for us. And even like ourselves, we don't really even record demos too often because, again, I feel like, well, this is the way I think the lads would agree, is in, like, it's not a waste of time recording demos, but for us, it's all about writing the songs in the room ourselves, making sure that it sounds good with the four of us. Then we play it live. I have to pass the live test, you know, get people's reaction, kind of gauge how it feels. And you know, so we focus on all that and then write in the next song. And then it's only when we say, all right, no, we want to release an EP, release an album, pick the songs, and then kind of work out kind of any kinks that need to be ironed out when it comes to transferring it from the jamming in the room to laying it down on a record.
Thanks. Thanks very much for that. So with Switch to Reset coming out soon, have you got any tours, live shows planned to promote this?
It's all
we have
at the moment.
we've the launch gig in Dublin on Saturday night, but after that, I don't think there's anything ironclad at the moment. I know Neil from Unearthed is talking about having us over to the UK. I think he said at least 3 or 4 times in the new year. But apart from that, I don't know. But I really, really want to start gigging the UK this in the new year,
nice.
Big time.
Where's the gig on Saturday in Dublin? For anyone, just in case anyone's watching live.
Fibber McGee's.
There we're gone.
Get
yourselves doing. Support the lads. And what can fans expect from a live performance of
Pints?
Lots of pints.
Lots of pints.
Yeah.
No, we tried to knock that on the head years ago. You know, like when we first started, we were fucking, you know, we're all only 18, you know, so going up on stage half cut and sometimes full blown fucking cut, and you know, it wasn't a good, you know, so we really started to knock that on the head and start becoming a little bit more professional. So my if you see us on Saturday night, we're not on till 11:30. We'll probably be stone cold fucking sober. We might have 1 pint or 2 pints just to kind of eat the nerves, and then we're up on stage. Like,
it still fucking annoys me when you see in reviews, and we have it in our bio. We're not lying about it. We're formed 10 years ago. It's like 10 years and they're only releasing an album now. What the fuck's up with that? It's because for the first 5, maybe even 6 years of the band, we were fucking pissheads. Like we were a drinking group that had a thrash metal problem, basically. And it was only around about, I think, 2018-ish when we said, all right, lads, no, if we're gonna fucking do this, let's do it properly. Let's be professional on stage. Let's spend more time on songwriting and rehearsing properly. And since then, we've been doing pretty fucking well. But so
I think one of the first gigs we ever did sober was with Ripper Owens from Judas Priest. Do you remember Dan Flynn got us that gig? He brought me into Fibers and he said to us, like, don't you fucking dare get hammered and get on that stage. And it was one of the first times we ever did it. And he even said to us, like, it was like a completely different band on stage. It was like, you were absolutely professional and it was like night and day. It's like, who were you last night?
We really did kind of, in the early days of Crossfire, we really did drag our name through the mud a little bit. No, it really wasn't a fucking good look, and I'm so glad that it didn't fucking stick. Because we're doing really well for ourselves now. We've managed to fucking pull ourselves together. The way I'm fucking talking here sounds like we need to go to AA, man.
To be fair,
shut up and have a beer.
That could be a sweet little T-shirt for you. You know what I mean? A drinking group with a thrash metal problem. Have that as a T-shirt. You should get that done. Marketed that shit.
We had a song on the old EP called "Bonded by Beer," and I think Matt actually had a Bonded by Beer.
Yes.
We had a Bonded by Beer T-shirt design done up and everything, and it's just the 4 of us looking pissed. Like, A, we can't print these on T-shirts. No one's gonna fucking buy them. And B is, then we're kind of making the conscious effort of kind of straying away from that image a little bit. We're still gonna fucking I was always gonna show up and have the crack and fucking outdrink anyone once we're off.
I am very disappointed that T-shirt has not been released by beer. Get it released. Get it released, please. At least a song or something. Oh, I need to hear. That'll be fucking brilliant. That's tickled me, that one. How do you engage with the crowd? How do you do like between sets? Do you do like fan? How is it? I'm fucking tongue tied. I only had one drink as well. Your fault, this lads. All this talk of beer.
Will have that effect on people.
I can imagine. I can imagine. How is the fan interaction when you go to your gigs?
Fans are always fucking nuts, like
In Dublin, I can imagine.
We recently played the Siege of Limerick back in the 29th of October.
Good.
And for us, we got a full crowd, and people were moshing and they were fucking stage diving and crowd surfing, and the mosh got so fucking intense in front of where I was singing. The stage wasn't too high up off the ground, and I had a pint of beer at the front of the stage just to kind of wet me whistle between songs. And someone knocked into the PA, the speaker in front of me, and speared me a pint of beer all over my fucking pedal board. Like I was more concerned about the fucking beer being knocked over than the pedal board.
That happened to me at the Siege the last time you played on the same stage. That happened to me.
I remember looking over at you and you looked absolutely devastated. You're just looking at your feet and you were just soaked in beer. what happened to me pints?
Vocal cords.
The best story was this was during the not so professional era of Crossfire. Probably one of the first gigs, or very early. And I think luckily it was during the last song, I think. But halfway through the song, Kev's guitar string breaks. Like, oh no, so like, and it was glad that we were in the internet, like, the three of us were able to go on with the rest of the song and basically make it through it, so that was fine. But I remember a minute later after that happened, and we're going away, and I look off to the right stage, and Kev's just there in the crowd drinking a pint, as in like, not even fucking trying, just like, okay, it's done now.
I had handed my guitar to one of the lads I knew at the front that also plays guitar, and I was like,
Dave Curran.
Yeah, Dave Curran from Atlanta. And I was like, I handed him the guitar. I was like, will you restring that for me while I go to the bar to get a pint?
And the three of us are sitting there on stage. He's like, is he coming back or not?
We just went home.
Absolutely
We
love it.
like fan interaction. We do a bit, but I think we keep it minimal enough. Like we let the music speak for itself. It's also the fact that if you leave too much dead air in between songs, you're just going to have one of the lads insult you in the middle of the set. It's it's not the one. It's your ma, something like that. You know.
Yeah, or you have Niall Torres up the front of the crowd screaming at you that you've never drank a pint in your life.
Yeah. Shout out to Torres.
So
time to talk, anyways.
we're getting pretty close to the end of. We're getting pretty close to the end of my questions. So before we'll turn it over to the live viewers very shortly. But looking forward, what are your goals and aspirations for the future, both as an individual musicians and as a band?
You gotta go around the room here now.
Go around the room.
You
I suppose
start us off, Kev.
Personally, well, I suppose personally as well as for the band, you know, definitely want to get over to the UK and start doing a bit of gigging over there. You know, we got a little bit of a taste for it where just before COVID, you know, and you know we done 3 nights over in the UK, and they were fucking great. You know, great crowd, great crack. You know, great people. So we definitely want to fucking get back over there. That's a personal and a professional goal.
Nice.
Personally, I would like to add a bit more, you know, classical type of acoustic to the songs, middle sections. Well, we already have the ending and to meet this, obviously, but that would be one of my aspirations, definitely.
I just take a note of that, Matt.
Yeah, go on.
Who are you kidding? You can't write.
I think for me, just want as many people as possible to hear this album, and then hopefully the album after that and the album after that. Get into as many ears as possible, go to as many places, see as many people as possible, see a bit of the world, and just keep the train moving. But short term, definitely the UK, because as Kev mentioned, the last 3 shows were great crack. 3 nights in the UK. We only got kicked out of 2 of the bars, so a few more. And actually, no, one of them was Kev's fault. One of them wasn't our fault. We were leaving the bar, and I bumped into some owl lad who pushed me over, and then we got kicked out.
He tried to kick you down the stairs.
It was like a fucking narrow fucking stair. It was a bar in fucking York, really nice place, and we were leaving. We were being almost professional, lads. We have to be home before 2. Let's get back to the hotel. And he just fucking bumps into me to walk on these stairs, and he's like, this guy must be fucking 50, and he's there pushing me.
That's you say we're almost professional. When we got fully kicked out of that pub, we got into the wrong Uber. We were halfway down the fucking street, and then your man realised that we weren't the right people. He drove us back. We eventually found the right one, and he brought us to the hotel that we booked, and it took us about half an hour to get into the fucking front door because it was locked. Do you remember? The 4 of us were standing out there screaming at each other in the piss's rain trying to get the fucking door open. Class.
Yeah, more nights like that in the UK. Across the water, as we say. We need to go across the water again.
The cows.
It sound like they want us back, to be honest with you.
Jesus Christ.
I said, it doesn't sound like they want us back.
But they might have a choice.
It was like a security check trying to get into because of all of the gear.
Oh, that was the cat house in Glasgow.
The cat house. That was deadly.
I've been there once before when I was in Glasgow on another trip, and we don't have anything like that back in Dublin. Like, Bibbers is great, but we don't have a fucking 2-3 floor fucking nightclub that just plays rock and metal. So I said, it's the last night before we fly off, and we are convinced to fucking walk. We were told it was 10 minutes from the venue to the car. It was like 30, 40 minutes with all of our fucking gear and all of our cans in the bags of the gear, because the original plan was to go back to the Airbnb and just chill out. So we're going in, and we say to the bouncer up fucking front here, lads, We just want to get in and have a few drinks. We're not going to cause trouble, but we have a load of drink in the bags. Can we just leave them in the cloakroom, whatever? They fucking check every bag, take everything out, leave them in that. It was 20 minutes before we got into the place.
It took us longer. It took us longer to get through the security there than it did in the fucking airport to get home.
But then, once we get there, we meet a bunch of lads in the smoking area who live 15 minutes somewhere. Me and Matto do. Just randomly.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Excellent. And TJ, yourself, what's your goals for the new album?
I'd love to see us get on the festival circuit in Europe. I'd love that. That'd be a big goal for me now. Even a few of them. I know probably all the booking for the upcoming summer is probably fucking done and over now, but maybe the year after that'd be a big fucking one for me now, because I think that's you get a bigger audience, you know, and more people will see you, and they'll go home and they'll look you up on YouTube, or they'll buy the fucking album or the T-shirt or something, you know.
Yeah. Any particular festival that tickles your fancy?
Huh?
Sorry?
Any particular festival that you would like to?
Absolute.
Or just
Bloodstock straight away. Bloodstock, fucking. I'd love to fucking play that.
I think that's been a goal for the band for a while. We'd love to play Bloodstock.
CJ,
Yeah.
plug the t-shirts. Plug the t-shirts.
This is the new Switch to Reset T-shirt that arrived today.
nice.
So it's looking alright.
Which one's Dan wearing then?
Dan's wearing one of the old ones.
Dan's wearing the old one.
The dead one with our bottle of Buckfast in your man's hand.
Buckfast, get in. And he has Kevin Matt letting the side down, not repping Crossfire. Disgraceful.
I'm wearing a t-shirt from the Crow Bar in London, which was a metal bar in London before COVID. And
Not Crossfire though. We're supposed to be plugging Crossfire here tonight. This is
fucking London.
This is fucking Crossfire's night, mate, not London.
Alright, fair enough. It was a good bar.
Get in. You mentioned that you played the bars that you played in the UK. What were they? What's the names?
Nice and Sleazy was Glasgow.
Right.
York was the Fulford Arms, and then the one in Edinburgh has got its name changed now. I think it's called Legends in Cowgate now. I can't remember what it used to be called, Opium or something like that. But it was Edinburgh, York, and Glasgow.
Right. Nice one. Wasn't sure. So you haven't played the tune yet without Newcastle?
Not yet. Not yet.
Fair enough.
That's a long time.
One day.
Kev, write that one down as well.
They'll welcome you in trillions, to be fair. You shouldn't get kicked out of there unless you do something really daft.
Well,
unless that's going to be an unofficial goal of yours.
Yeah, don't set a challenge.
Anyway, we've got a couple of questions from our live viewers. Grimdor, what new music or artist have you discovered recently that maybe you would not have necessarily listened to before?
Oh shit.
That's
a good question.
Like genre wise.
Or just band.
Westlife.
Westlife's ingrained in me as a kid.
Westlife.
I want to shout out the Thrash. They're a band from Dublin who are starting to make some waves now, but it's kind of a combination of kind of almost Irish folk acoustic mixed with rock, and there's definitely like a metal influence there. They're not a metal band, but I think most people into heavy music would really like them and check them out. They released an album there a month or two ago called Mind Yourself, and yeah, it's all acoustic guitars played with distortion pedals that sound really fucking heavy. So yeah, Mind Yourself by the Scratch, I think it's called.
Nice. Anyone else?
Well, it's not really a band, not really, a genre of music that I wouldn't listen to. It's definitely along the lines of metal, and and even probably thrash metal. But and the guys know that, you know, over the last couple of years, I've kind of gotten really big into this band, Spirit World. They're kind of like a cross between, you know, Slayer met Slipknot, you know, that kind of vibe. But they don't look like they play that type of music, you know. They look a bit fucking mad looking, but no, great band. And,
I thought you were going to say the Steel Woods.
Is this the fucking the cowboy lads?
Steel Woods, was it?
No, not fucking Steel Woods. Yeah, but
no,
they look like
the cowboy.
They look like cowboys, but they play kind of metal.
Matt, DJ, what about yourselves?
Well, last night sitting there having a few pints in Mars, and I discovered Marty Friedman's solo album.
What?
Dragon's Kiss, and I've never heard it before, so it was fucking good. Sent it into the chat, the Crossfire chat. And
yeah, it's filled. I've never listened to that before either. It was filled. There's a band I got into there a while ago called Midnight Priest. I don't know if you've ever listened to them. They're like old school heavy metal. It's fucking deadly. The album Aggressive Hauntings is fucking deadly start to finish.
Nice. What musician band is your biggest inspiration?
Tin Lizzy for me, obviously. I love guitar harmonies, the whole dual guitar harmony thing. You know, from the moment I learned to play guitar was always a big inspiration for me. So Tin Lizzy for guitar harmonies and melody, and, you know, Phil Lynnett's lyrics and stuff like that, you know, is absolutely great. And then because of Tin Lizzy, I started liking Iron Maiden as well for the same thing, the dual guitar harmony things. So they're definitely two massive influences and inspirations for me.
For me, bass playing wise, Megadeth. When I first started getting into metal, it was Megadeth, and that's what made me want to play bass. The first time I heard Peace Elves, I was just fucking, you know, that fucking bass line. Yeah, it was just that for me. I fucking love Dave Ellison. He's fucking deadly.
He is dirty. He's a dirty boy.
Yeah, as I meant to say, for my I think it was my 26th or 27th birthday. It was the middle of COVID, and the lads had gotten one of the the cameos.
Oh right, yeah.
You know, with Dave Ellison, and I woke up to that. I was like, that's fucking deadly. And it was a month later. Those videos released, like, oh, for fuck's sake. I'm like, oh no.
Which makes the cameo video. Yeah, the cameo video is really suspicious now. You can only see it from chest up, so God knows what's going on down there.
Well, yeah,
what do you think I'm doing right now?
The only one I know who's fully clothed is Matt, because he's getting up once or twice for a beer. It doesn't stand up whatever you do. What about yourself, Dan?
I think when you talk about influence, as in obviously the big four Thrash done, that's what got me into thrash metal, so that's always going to be there. But I think musically, it probably is Dream Theater, because it's the first kind of progressive metal that I've listened to, and I just think, especially when it comes to things like drumming and rhythm, and just kind of, without getting too grandiose about it, look at music a different way, and kind of look at, weird things outside the box, and trying to be able to bring them into Crossfire songs, even if it's only in a really subtle way. Yeah, no, my if I had come to my head, Mike Portnoy is probably my favorite drummer, and he's back in the band now, so yeah, got to show them some love.
Cool. And Matty, did you mention?
I'd say if we're talking specifically about thrash, back in the
just anything that might inspire. What's like been your personal biggest inspiration?
Oh, I have a lot of inspiration, but if we're talking like specifically about thrash, I have this memory of me and my old friend Gav. We used to, get that old metal hammer. When we had metal, and then we used to, the way you get the single CDs. And we first saw that, and there was a Gamma Bomb in there, Hammer Slammer, and that was the first time I had an experience with thrash that wasn't, it was Irish. So, other than Metallica influence, like that was my first into thrash kind of experience.
Nice.
And I'd say acoustically influences Cat Stevens. Inspiration.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you like Blink 182?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Dan loves the new tracks.
Travis Barker is doing double bass drumming now on the new album. You know, what more could you want?
How do I log off this?
Me and Dan love Green Day.
Oh yeah.
Every time we show up to rehearsal, you know, me and Connor are setting up, and you know, Matt and Dan have already set up because they were there before us, and they're jamming on fucking Green Day or Blink 182, and me and Connor are just looking at each other as like, oh my god, fucking kill me.
Yeah.
We'll convert you one day.
Well,
Not a fucking chance.
well, Sonic Pip, he absolutely loves Blink 182, so he disagrees with you. I'm guessing you may know this person.
Well, he can fuck off.
Wow. Maybe it's not. It could be a new fan, and you've just torched that like.
Look.
Oh well, so we've got an interesting one, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that name correctly. I'm just going to say Chloe for the sake of trying to pronounce names. If you could branch out into any other genre of music, what would it be?
That's it. Do you know? That's actually my girlfriend. Claudia, stop backing the bollocks.
Chloe's good, thank you.
Pop punk, definitely. I still want to, probably not anytime soon, but I still want to get a few gigs under my belt to a genre of music where you're not at your like physical limit. It's not all 200 BPM. You can just kind of lean back and have a bit of fun with it. So probably kind of some sort of pop punk, or like again go back to a bit of ultra stuff where you can, you know, just groove out a bit.
I think if I wasn't doing this, I'd be doing something like old school British heavy metal stuff, you know, Iron Maiden or Judas Priest or something like that. That's what I'd be doing. I love that shit.
If I wasn't doing metal in general, I'd probably be doing maybe acoustic bluesy stuff. Maybe, don't know.
I'd probably do some like new wavy sounding stuff, but like really harsh rock and rolly type vocals. You know,
You say
Nice.
new wavy, do you mean? What do you mean,
like new wave British heavy metal type of sound.
Oh,
like really greeny vocals, like rock and rolly type vocals. Yeah.
like black and roll almost?
No, like rock and roll vocals.
Yeah, but you know what
Like
black and roll
Led
is?
Zeppelin vocals.
Yeah, but you know what? I thought you meant it's in harsh vocals. Like, you ever listen to I don't know how to pronounce them, Keber Attack? It's basically like it's, you know, like more kind of like rock music with fucking black metal vocals. I thought that's what you're talking about for a sec.
Oh, right, no.
So,
Yeah, absolutely not.
any other questions from the live viewers? I'll quickly ask one myself while we wait for somebody to type. Guilty pleasure songs. Have you just got one?
Oh God, there's too many.
Yeah, I will say, I'm a sucker for a bit of Britney Spears now, I have to say.
Classic.
You just like the videos, you cunt.
That as well. If we're talking guilty pleasure videos, fucking Buttons.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Beautiful choir.
Cinematic masterpiece.
Shakira and Beyonce, man. Unreal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
I think Darryl Breen, the comedian, said it best, as in like, guilty pleasures is something you should say about music. Guilty pleasure should be something proper, as in like, a bit, like he says it, not me. He was like, a guilty pleasure is someone going up to you and saying, I like to touch people on the arse on the train. That's a guilty pleasure. Music isn't something to be guilty about.
I think that might be sexual assault. But
I haven't said that.
That's the guilty part, obviously.
Other people are telling me that my guilty pleasure is my favourite band, if not Metallica or some metal stuff, is My Chemical Romance. My Chemical Romance is one of the best rock bands of the 21st century, and I will die on that hill, and if he's called that a guilty pleasure, so be it.
Fair enough.
I will shoot you on that hill.
The lads know my guilty pleasure, but like I don't hide it at all. I absolutely love George Michael.
Nice.
No, I thought our guilty pleasure was really bad country music.
That's not guilty pleasure. Yeah, I just said that. There's no such guilty pleasure.
Well, that's guilty as fuck.
I'd rather be putting George Michael on than some of the other country shit.
Fucking Brad Paisley. That fucking song stuck in my head after that weekend. Fucking beer, there's no beer and I.
That was last summer. We played at a kind of a festival type thing in Sligo on the west coast of Ireland, Sligo Whiplash, and it was great. But we said we were going to stay down for the weekend. We play on the first night, so we're lucky we got a really cheap student accommodation type place. But of course, knowing that we had no commitments the next day, we stayed up for most of the night, having cards, playing songs. Great crack. It was like our little holiday for the year. But there's that fucking country song, There's No I in Beer. And we must have played it 10 times in the space of fucking 4 or 5 hours throughout the night. It's all like PTSD shit now.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. What were yourself, Matty? What's your guilty pleasure?
I'm pretty much 90% of the time when I'm not in the band, I'm always playing acoustic stuff. So I'm always on the sofa, like just jamming acoustic. So pretty much most of the things I play are a guilty pleasure. I'll just example Natalie and Brugia Torn. So
that's not guilty. That's
a banger. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'll give you that one.
Percent of the things I play is acoustic, and most of them are guilty pleasures. Anyone's guilty pleasure, really.
Fair enough. I mean, we on this stream, every stream we do here on Get Heavy UK, we end with S Club 7 Reach for the Stars. And that
wait, Beardball, what's your guilty pleasure?
I've just said S Club 7 Reach.
Oh, that's it.
I have a really funny story about
if you check the emote section, we've got an S Club 7 emote. So if you're watching, if you are watching live on Twitch and you go to the emote section,
I see it now.
There is an S Club emote. And it wasn't the full band. It was only 3 members. But me and my pal went and saw them live, and I'm not sure if it's still there on Instagram. There's me and him singing along to Reach for the Stars. And then when it came to our music festival called Get Heavy Fest that we put on in August, we got a deathcore band, Cast and Tefra, who were joined by Killer Nova and Collapse of Colour to form Slam Club 7 and covered Reach for the Stars.
I think there used to be a metal club in Dublin called Carnage that we used to play a lot. It was every Friday night, and after the band would finish about 1:30, a DJ set would go on, and he always finished without fail with What Is Love. So everybody be walking around the place like zombies at 3:30, eyeballs going in 2 different directions, and that would come on, and the lights would come on, and you'd be like, oh fuck.
Absolutely brilliant. Any other questions? Anyone over there? Yes, Forza, what country haven't you played? What country haven't you played at? Would you like to play at?
Oh, country. Anywhere in Europe or the States.
Anywhere, wherever.
100%. Just. Well, for me, big ones would be Germany, Holland, or France. Right off the bat, just the massive metal scenes there. Specifically, Holland, I'd love to do Dynamo. Dynamo is a fucking big one. We flew over there. What year was it, lads, to see Toxic?
2019, I think.
2019, and that was fucking unreal. That was. I've been a big fan of them for a long time. And when they were announced, I think we bought the tickets like a year and a half in advance, and we fucking we showed up, and we were absolutely in bits. Fucking spent all day knackered drunk, and then obviously we found a coffee shop, and it was just fucking joints, and it was like, oh fuck.
I think the 3 of us kept it mostly together. You were fucking cabbage.
I was blackout. I was blackout drunk getting on the plane going over. I was in fucking tatters. I essentially woke up in a different country the next day.
You were there in the bar before we walked
the
in.
plane story. Being stuck on the plane. The plane story.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we either we drank every can of cider on the plane, or we were so bad that they cut us off. I don't know which it was. But when the plane landed, we were queuing up to leave, and I was literally about to piss myself. So I was like, I said it to the flight attendant, like, I need to go to the toilets. And she's like, no, you can't. You have to go in through security. Like, love, I'm about to piss myself. And she's like, right, go in real quick. And I thought it was fairly fast. Obviously, I fucking wasn't, because I opened the door and I came back out, and they had closed the doors of the plane. There was a cleaner going up. They had the aisles roped off. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And she starts screaming at me in fucking Dutch. I don't fucking understand a word what she's saying. They had to get cabin crew to go up, put the fucking the stairs back, open the fucking door. And then I ran down the stairs. I had no clue where I was fucking going. I was just in the middle of a runway by myself.
We were there at the other side of passport control waiting for him. And I think he just said, he probably took one look at the hairy fucker and was like, no, you are not coming into our country. Back yourself.
Oh, fucking mad though.
Oh, get it.
Crack.
I'd love to play Japan. Because I think it'd be really funny.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'd be really funny, the four of us trying to work our way around Japan. And also, it's a country that will have no plans to visit myself. I'd love to see it one day. So, yeah, I think it's
so would I.
Well, really surreal, the four of us playing in Japan. And from what I've heard, at least anyway, there's supposed to be loads of great metal over there. So, we might find ourselves.
I think Gamma Bomb, was it before or after COVID they had fucking done Japan? There's a few mad pictures of them over there. Yeah.
Are we
That'd be a good one, Ori.
Matt, Kev, any countries?
Maybe Hawaii, because that'll be the furthest I'll ever travel in my life.
Yes.
And it'd be nice to play outside in Hawaii or something.
Like an open.
I'd definitely love to play America. You know, San Fran or New York, or anywhere where kind of thrash metal was born. You know,
yeah. Fit in with all the homeless people then in San Fran.
Oh my god. Yeah, but he'd fit in with the beard,
You go to San Fran, where Metallica moved to get Cliff Burton, and see the house that they lived together in when they wrote the likes of Master of Puppets and Ride the Lightning. I think that'd be really cool.
Nice.
Was that the house that Jack built?
I find that very fucking inspiring. Piece of thrash metal history.
Nice.
Yeah, that would be really fucking cool.
Yeah.
So we're gonna put you on the spot because there's a question here from Sonic Pip. What's your worst metal band?
Oh, how long have you fucking got?
How can you be nice about slating somebody?
It's a good question.
Nebulars.
Shots fucking fired.
Some could say I'm stuck on the Crossfire.
I know they're pretty fucking good.
Oh, what's that other band? That Saint Slaughter crowd. Oh God. Oh. Fuck you, Tom.
If I can think of a proper answer, is it what's that proper-ish? How the fuck do you say this? What's that band? It's the cunt Ronnie Radke, Falling in Reverse, because I just hate your.
Oh God, man. No.
I hate your fucking man, and that kind of music isn't for me. What metalcore-ish type stuff. It generally isn't for me, apart from a few exceptions. But when you have that kind of music, and then you have that kind of attitude from your man, yeah, they can fuck right up.
Wingy, my dad didn't love me music.
Anybody else?
Crossfire.
Those wankers ruined my life.
Hi, my name is Matt.
I never look at Jonathan. We've never even back here anyway. We've never fell out or feuded with a band or anything like that.
Yeah.
We don't even have the chance now to take our pot shots at someone that's wronged us. We've generally gotten along with everyone we've interacted and played with. So.
Wait, where's the grudge stone?
Actually, I'm very disappointed. The question that every band gets asked hasn't been asked yet. So I'll do it. When you're here in the UK, what's your Greg's order?
Oh! I don't know, because I was in Greg's, and I can't remember what I got, but we were in some other place in Edinburgh, and I got a thing called a tatty roll, and it was fucking deadly. I don't know, it was like a pastry, sausage thing, and it was savage.
Was it a tatty roll or a tatty scone?
We went to that pie shop, remember?
Huh?
When we were in Edinburgh, we went to that pie shop.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah. It was fucking savage. No, it wasn't. No, but no, I can't remember what I ordered in Greg's because it was probably fucking hammered.
Anybody else?
Because we did stop at one of them on the way, and I think I went to Burger King as well. We were on that fucking bus that felt like it was like 3 days long. In between every fucking venue.
Nice.
I don't want to offend anyone in the UK that might be watching there because obviously we don't have Greg's in Ireland, but as an Irish man coming over to the UK, I think Greg's is seriously fucking overrated. when I'm there and it's like one...
How dare you? That's a part of Newcastle's history. That's it. This fucking interview's cancelled. I'm done. Fucking flip the table. That's it.
The jumbo sausage rolls. The jumbo sausage rolls are pretty good. You get one of those near there, but no, we have delis in every centre and spar, just regular corner shops here that we'll do sausage rolls and jambons and baguettes and
but they're all rotten and soggy.
No, they're much better. They're much better than Greg's in my own opinion.
Witherspoons.
Greg's sausage rolls are fucking good. So we'll chat.
If I see your name anywhere coming to the UK, I'm just gonna take this little clip of you saying what you just said about Greg's. This band's coming to the tune. This is where they're playing. This is where they'll be at. This is their stage time.
Show up and pelt us with sausage rolls.
The UK probably do 95% of stuff better than the way we do it fucking here in Ireland. But
just
drawing the line.
Go on to the show and just hit them with Greg's sausage.
Spoken like a true patriot, Dan.
Right, guys, before we call it there, anything else that you would like to plug before we end?
Let's get all the main plugs out of the way anyway. So, if anyone watched this on demand or anyone in the chat, Switch to Reset is out tomorrow now, Friday, December 15th. It's on Spotify and Apple Music and all of that, but if you can also go over to crossfiretrash.bandcamp.com if you want to buy the digital album, or you can buy a very limited run of CDs you have at the moment. The lovely merch that CJ's modelling there, crossfiretrash.bandcamp.com is where you can do all of that. I think I saw our link tree was posted in the chat there as well, where all of our socials and streaming platforms are, etc. And if anyone here is in Dublin, we'll be playing Saturday, December 16th now in Fibber McGee's, where we'll be playing the entire album in full. Psychosis, Acid Age, Snowblind, all fucking best bands in Ireland are really, we're honoured that they're going to be fucking joining us. And apart from that, fucking just go listen to the album, and if you know anyone who wants to fucking bring us over, especially for those in the UK, we want to go back there. So if we'll set that up in next year, and we'll come over with some t-shirts, some CDs, we'll play some tunes and have a good session.
Excellent. Anybody else? Anything to plug?
No, I think Dan's summed it all up there pretty well.
Pretty well, champion. Right then, well, we'll call it there, guys, I think. Thank you very much for the laugh, the crack. It's been absolutely great, and it's great to have your insights on the new album. I'm not sure if you were able to stick around until midnight to watch our release party, if you will, because I'm going to be hanging around till at least 1:30ish, spinning that bad boy.
Better How long is beer last?
It depends. Have you got work? Have you got work tomorrow?
Of college.
Oh, college. All right. Fair enough.
To get up early tomorrow morning and fucking update everything, fucking the social media calendar and all the planning shit.
Yeah.
But I might be still awake at 12. If I'm
Sweet.
awake, I might send you some nice good night message if you're still around.
Well, I'm still be here, mate. I'm still gonna be here. Like I say, I have promised to spin that new album at midnight. It will be done, even if I'm asleep,
Yeah, gent. Maybe in the middle.
just like this. Wake up,
In the
as
middle of it, if I pop in, maybe sing me a lullaby or something.
and of course, as soon as the album's finished, we'll play S Club 7. So,
One more story, real quick.
Fun.
Just we said playing S Club 7 at the album. I'm still gutted we didn't do it. There was a very small chance that we were going to finish the album with the instrumental faded out. And I don't know if you call this.
Oh yeah!
Fade in. Of an acoustic studio recording, one mic, acoustic raw studio recording of us doing Angels by Robbie Williams.
yes,
It was fantastic.
Horrendous.
If you go on to our TikTok, I think on TikTok we're Crossfire Thrash Metal, all one word. You can see kind of a clip of basically an end of night recording session. Had a few beers and on there with the guitar. Matto, what's the fucking chords? How do you play a B flat? And we were doing that.
Oh no, it was terrible. No, it wasn't even the right chords.
Sure, at one stage I had the acoustic bass down as well. We were proper going for it.
yeah. I'm checking TikTok right before when I take my little break. Anyway, guys, so thank you very much for hanging with us. I really do appreciate it, taking out the time of your busy schedules. I'm looking forward to hearing Switch 2 Reset. I think it's going to be absolutely brilliant. Just going off the two songs that I've already heard. So yeah, hopefully, maybe down the line as well. Try and get a vinyl release for us vinyl fucking collectors.
Oh, we've looked into it already, and it's definitely it'll be coming down the line.
I
definitely.
will hold you to that, CJ.
Yeah.
No worries. Gentlemen, well, thank you very much. Anyone who's watching live, hang around. I will be back. I'm just going to take a quick 10-minute break, and the title screen will show ending, but I'm not going anywhere. Please do not leave. So hang around, and we'll see you really soon. So take care, guys.
Cheers, man. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us. Have a good night.
Cheers.
Fucking hell.